COP29 in Baku. Paving the path for climate resilience and action. COP29, the 2024 Climate Change Conference, is set to take place in Baku, Azerbaijan, from November 11 to 22. This annual conference, held under the UNFCCC, is the foremost global forum for negotiating climate actions. It will host multiple sessions, including the 29th Conference of the Parties to the UNFCCC, the 19th meeting of the parties to the Kyoto Protocol (CMPN-19), and the 6th meeting of the parties to the Paris Agreement (CMA-6). Here's an in-depth look at the priorities and themes that will shape COP29. Key priorities and agenda highlights 1. Loss and Damage Fund implementation. An important COP29 objective is operationalizing the Loss and Damage Fund, a major financial initiative dedicated to supporting countries most affected by climate change impacts. This fund, discussed extensively in prior COPs, will help vulnerable regions like small island developing state SIDS and least developed countries LDS respond to climate-induced disasters such as extreme weather events and rising sea levels. 2. Enhanced National Commitments NDCs. As the global goal remains to limit temperature rise to 1.5 C, countries are encouraged to submit updated nationally determined contributions NDCs by 2025. COP29 will assess current NDCs and push for more ambitious targets that include concrete steps to phase out fossil fuels, expand renewable energy, and reduce non-CO emissions, particularly methane. These contributions are central to the Paris Agreement's success, and COP29 will seek to align these with stronger financial and transparency mechanisms. 3. Financial innovations and Baku Climate Finance Initiative. The Baku Climate Finance Initiative will launch on November 14, focusing on mobilizing funds for climate resilience and adaptation projects worldwide. This initiative seeks to bridge the significant finance gap by encouraging investments from international financial institutions and the private sector, vital for supporting both adaptation and mitigation efforts in developing nations. 4. Thematic Focus Days. Digitalization Day, a first for COP events. This day will explore how digital innovations and sustainable tech can enhance climate action, reduce emissions, and streamline climate-related data management. Tourism Day, with the goal of advancing sustainable practices in tourism. This day will highlight how travel and tourism can support or hinder climate objectives, especially in conservation-sensitive areas. Human Development Day, emphasizing the importance of youth, health, and education. This day will discuss human-centered climate adaptation and the role of community engagement in building resilience. Global participation and leadership under the presidency of Mukhtar Babayev, Azerbaijan's Minister of Ecology and Natural Resources. COP29's leadership aims to bridge divides between developed and developing nations. Babayev's selection as president has attracted scrutiny due to his prior role as an oil industry executive, raising concerns about potential conflicts of interest in managing climate initiatives. His team, however, has included a diverse array of experts to guide the proceedings, including a youth climate champion and a climate change high-level champion, to ensure diverse perspectives are considered. Challenges and expected outcomes. 1. Finance and adaptation needs. The climate finance gap is a recurring issue at COP meetings, with COP29 placing special emphasis on closing this gap. Increasing the transparency of climate finance and ensuring its equitable distribution will be essential discussions, particularly to build adaptation capacities in lower-income countries. 2. Sectoral emphasis. The conference will also target specific sectors like agriculture, transportation, and urban planning, which are crucial for reducing emissions and building climate resilience. Agriculture and water security are particularly emphasized as critical for food security in the face of changing weather patterns and increased droughts. 3. Social dimensions of climate action. Gender equality, indigenous knowledge, and community-driven solutions are central to COP29's approach to an inclusive climate agenda. Indigenous knowledge, in particular, is valued for its sustainable practices, and gender equity initiatives aim to ensure that women, who often face disproportionate impacts from climate change, have a prominent voice in solutions. Outlook for COP29. COP29 aims to deliver actionable commitments to strengthen the global climate response. If it succeeds in its objectives, particularly in securing substantial financial pledges, enhancing NDCs, and strengthening adaptation support for vulnerable regions, it will mark a significant step forward. However, this COP faces the challenge of balancing diverse global interests, from fossil fuel-reliant economies to those pushing for aggressive mitigation measures. The world will be watching closely to see if COP29 can overcome these divides and set a stronger path toward sustainability and resilience for all.